Danielle Fowler, my child Dennis here. So I decided it's time for me to stop being so nice or protective. And I'm making this video not directed at, but to inform, I guess, everyone, because it's a public video. And two, to inform the young lady that also involved. I'm sorry, but what it is, and I guess you also chose this life, but this is a video of now it's time to bring things to light. Things I was like, you know what, let me just protect these people and just say these things, not say these things and just, But no, that's it. We're going to unleash. We're going to share the facts. But first, I just want to say, um, you are loved. So even if at the end of this you decide to walk away or not, because we choose not to, like the Bible says, anything that he has not established is going to fail. And God has spent a lot of time, even the day, no, right before I knew for a fact that you guys were still together on September 4th, God makes sure show up and say, it's me. Listen up. I am going to do it. It's me, God. So if it was before then or sometime before, I would have questioned it. And by then, September 4, I could not question it. Even if I wanted to be able to can question it, but I couldn't. So I can't. So knowing that I can't and you see it, I'm sorry. Whether or not you choose to leave or not, it's going to fail. Um, and I want to emphasize that you are loved based on what I've heard. Your family loves you, your friends love you, you are loved. And hold on to that fact and the fact that you are valuable. Based on what I heard, he said about you in 2020 when we had our few conversations, you are a wonderful, or let's put it this way, because I don't know you personally, so I can't say that. But you are someone that a lot of men who know value would want, and who would cherish value. So, based on just all that, hold on to that fact. No matter whatever decision you're making, I am not going to force you. I'm not, but I'm just telling you for a fact. If it's not God, which I know it's not, it's going to fail. But here's the thing. So we talk about that, but I'm going to stop protecting. As I said, stop protecting these. You know what? I was kind of doing a lot of honest mother. Let's start putting facts on Ryan himself. You know what? I've been saying a lot of things of what he did in 2020. And I'm not even going to focus on that. There's a lot of things he did in 2020. And I could use as, facts. But let's focus on just the now. Because he could just say, that was 2020. I'm changed. I'm different. Let's focus on the now. I am going to even focus. I have the dates written and I've written down from September 4th. I'm not going to do before then. September 4th. Before that, I've never seen certain things he did with me. He's always like, oh, I want to talk to you, but I have no time. I'm busy. I will try and talk to you another time. I'm busy, that kind of thing. Or he's concerned. That's all he'd give me, and that's before September 4th. But here's the thing. Like on September 4th, he blocked me, and he can say, "Oh, but block her. Me no want deal with her. Me no." But here's the thing. There's some things I've noticed, and I kind of brushed it off because I didn't want to dwell on it. I didn't want to hold on to it. Similarly, like with this new guy, I don't hold on to a lot of things he did or want to because I can't. It's like a numbing mechanism to protect myself, and um, just so I don't get involved mentally too far that I get emotionally stressed to the point I'm having panic attacks. Yeah, I don't want to go back to there. So unless I'm certain, I don't want to hold on to these little things. But at the same time, I have to move with God, so I have to trust God. So God make sure I don't forget these things. So yeah, we're gonna focus on September 4 and onwards till I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Now to this very moment, right? So September 4. Here's the thing. What happened is that's after, right? This is where after God show up and he's like, I'm about to deliver the promise. I don't know how like bruh. It's just hot man, because promises haven't been in my hand, but God does his own thing on his own timing. And he's like, fast for 2 days. And he delivered food like, I don't know. I was in my car. It's pointed, fast for 2 days, deliver food. Talk to Raheem, didn't really go anywhere. I'm like, God, he's like, just trust me, fast again. Fast for 2 days, send somebody I didn't know who talked to for a while to tell me, okay, just talk to a friend. So I was like, all right, cool. Talk to a mutual friend is who revealed to me the whole they're still together. And I was like, and how that happened. God even sent a pastor to send a vision but the pastor didn't even tell me the vision or didn't get a chance to tell me because he was trying to call me, but it wouldn't go through until after I spoke with a friend, and the friend said, yeah, he has a girlfriend, yeah, right? He's still with the girlfriend or something of that sort that implies that he's with her still. I was like, what? But that's, mind you, God make sure that happened after I sent the whole story, and it's not in a way that I could unsend anything. Anyways, let's not go in detail on that. After I sent that, and I find that out, and I messaged her apologetically, and I messaged him, but it's like God was like, hold back on how you respond. Let's see how he reacts. And he's like, why are you acting like I never tell you I have a girlfriend? I only kept in contact with you because you were nice to my mommy, you and me and mommy. Anyways, and he was just disrespecting me and blocked me after. I was like, fine, but at the same time, I was pissed at God a lot. But at the same time, by then I already know God. You distinctly said this, so right. So he blocked me. Not denying that fact, he blocked me. However, there was some time after that he unblocked me. I think by then maybe the relationship with them kind of deteriorate where she's like, mosquito, I had to kill her. But yeah, maybe the relationship ended and he maybe saw the opportunity because I'm talking about God. So maybe fine if it's God, or not if it's God. I do want to be with you. So, and then he created another app, messaging app with the same number he had, and he didn't block me there. So I was like, but then I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off. I didn't want to kill. It's like I wanted to punch him in the face type of thing. But I may say a lot of aggressive things, but I don't really do these things. But it's a thing like, that's how angry I am, okay? So yeah, then I was like upset. I didn't care. It's like, oh yeah, he wants to be with you. That's foolish. The things I had to go God. And then I had to go through another experience for God to show me. It's like, Anyways, if you were following my tweets at that time, I was going through cycles of problems, like just mindset, just going through, I don't want him. And then I was like, I'm so hurt. And it was a cycle of hot mess. And then another guy was involved, like, he could solve my problems. Maybe I could just jump and, be with that guy. Even though I knew I didn't want to be with that guy because of certain things. But it's just like, it would have been a big relief. I wouldn't need to wait anymore. I wouldn't have to live in my car anymore. I was just that, like, but I was tempted, but at the same time, it wasn't that tempted. It was more like that was an option, but I didn't really want it. Anyways, so after going through that cycles and pastors helping me, and then God's like, eventually even distanced the pastor from helping me because he was, going ahead of God and all that stuff. I went into this space where God's like, you got to trust me. So by about October 22nd, this is a Friday, As I said, I went out with a friend because he does delivery and he just wanted company and he was sick and whatever. And he's just a friend that we sometimes help. And I help his wife sometimes. And so after I came back, I got a message from another friend I know from high school. And he's watching my tweets and he's busy at the same time, so he didn't get to see a lot of things. And then he's like, hey, I saw a lot of things and he wanted to help. But he said there's a devotion that he keeps speaking and he thinks it's a message to me is to surrender. So it's like, surrender. All right. Soon after that, because I was in my car, God was like, in no distinct way, no subtle way, as in it's very distinct, I couldn't avoid it, as well as I couldn't pray it away. And God was like, let go of your belief or your own mindset of what is right and what's wrong, and trust me, you're married, go and consummate that with right. So I was like, let's pause there so you can understand how distinct it is. So those who have seen my tweets, I've been talking about an ex, the God declared, and now the most recent, I call him John. Just gonna call him John because he's just a new guy. I don't want to mention his name. He's not on social media. It's not going to go anywhere because God's eyes, I'm married. So his name is John for the stories. All right. So when it comes to the ex, no, I was involved with for about 5 years. And I call it situationship because it was just a hot mess of a lot of things. And after a certain time, we started getting involved. Mind you, for the whole time we were in a situationship, it was all long distance. If we never met physically, maybe I've crossed paths with him when I was younger, because my mom taught at the school he attended at the time that I was around, and he was around and whatever. So I could have crossed paths and known him exists or whatever. But distinctly meeting each other during that 5 years of situationship, never met. Right? But I was so in love. So in love. And at one point, we got involved sexually. Not have sex, but there's certain sexual things that got involved with, right? I'm not gonna go and divulge, but you know what I mean. It's long distance. There's a lot of things you can and cannot do sexually over the phone or video or whatever, right? But I've never had sex at all, never. So with him, I never. But because of how far I got involved with him, I'm pretty sure if we were in the same room during that time period where I got involved in those type of things, I could not say that statement ever, because I would have, because of how the temptation and because of how I got dabbled into it, I couldn't do what I always wanted to do, was wait till marriage to have sex, right? But that time, I guess, grace. So someone just delivered some food to me, and then kind of eat in between. All right, in between takes. So grace make sure we never met till 2 years after that relationship end, and that never happened. But one thing I know, because of that involvement, we naturally desire sex. But because of before that, I naturally desire sex on a natural, normal basis, because I got involved with him in certain ways, it started making that temptation stronger, and something that, because I want to wait, I don't want to be in that mindset of, oh, I want the D, I must have the D, random guy with a D, I'm gonna take the D. No, I want to be in a mindset where I can be able to be in a relationship with someone, not because I'm craving the D, right? Sorry. So I was in a mindset where it was like craving the D, even though I've never had it. So I'm like, God, no. And I would pray and praying and pray hard and it would go away. And then I never had those kind of things. The temptation or that kind of mindset, intervals of intensity would decrease to the point where I already had that mindset struggle for a while. So that's norm. Anyways, so that's what I do whenever at any point temptation would get that high. So that night I was like, it's happening. I was like, God's like, no, I'm not stopping this now. You're married. And I want you to prepare. So God was like, that's me encouraging that, bringing that. In my eyes, you're married. So here's the thing. When I get emotionally overwhelmed, I write. Mind you, if I was to write everything I'm emotionally overwhelmed, Twitter would have far more tweets. I don't go there when I'm emotionally overwhelmed. I go there when I just need to go, whatever. Yeah. I write. And poetry is one of the ways I end up doing that. So I was like, okay, God, you're putting a lot of that on me, overwhelmed that weekend. And he's just preparing me for that mindset, because he's like, you're going to do that. That's married. That's a part of it. That is the way I made marriage so you guys can be one. Married, man and wife to be one. That's the way. And I made this, and I made this for my glory and more. So it's not a bad thing once it's in the right place. So, right? And so I started writing, because I'm like, okay, God, if you're saying I'm married to him, might as well share it. So I end up writing after a while. I was like, you know what? Because I've shared some of the poetry I did involving him in 2020, just right where I'm seated, where he had a bed before, not where this was. I showed him some of the stuff I wrote based on being overwhelmed by the time I met him or whatever time period at time it was. And so I've never shown him anymore since, or give him access like that where he can see it whatever he wants. So it's like, yo, if God has said this, I'm not going to be the only one in this mindset. Two, might as well share it. You're my husband. That was some of the reaction. They were overwhelmed by it. Like, bruh, I'm a wife. And then there is the ones that are explicit sexually. I was overwhelmed. Okay, I write. And so I wrote it. Here's the thing. I'm sharing what I did. On the Monday after, so the 22nd is a Friday, 23rd is the Saturday, 24th is a Sunday. All overwhelmed, and I'm writing. And then Saturday morning, it's just like dead. That's the time Monday morning, I lost my car. But Monday morning is also when I was like, the Holy Spirit's like, okay, I'm taking that away now. I'm slowing that down. And he's like, just observe. And I started, that's when I went to, soon after, before that, I found his Twitter. I didn't know his Twitter before. So I went to his Twitter. I believe it's him. He blocked me soon after, but off that Twitter, so I couldn't see anything. But his header had something on, if you want me to breathe, you just say it. Something like that. After a while, not that time. But that Monday morning, he's like, good morning to everyone except those in a good relationship and have an active sexual life or something. I was like, that's how I knew for like that's too many coincidences for it not to be him. Then I got upset. This point is I got upset and I removed him from accessing anything. But anyways, I got upset. I was like, what? And some reaction. But point is, he read them. I don't know if he liked them, but I knew for a fact he read them because I saw it on a Monday and I saw that you read them. Anyways. We'll get back to the fact that you read them soon. Because, there is more to that. So that's October 24th, that weekend. So by November 4th, everything lined up for me to arrive in Jamaica on the 4th of November. Mind you, there's a lot of 4th. So there's September 4th, November 4th, December 4th, which is coming up soon, and then February 4th. There's a lot of important and significant dates, but let's go back. I arrived in Jamaica in November 4th, and then I saw them, and then his mom and him, November 6th. And that's when I pick up my stuff. And if you were following my Twitter, I imploded and was pissed off because I was going through a lot of foolishness. God promising them as the future husband and the future in-law. And I'm just going through a lot of BS. Like, what the hell? And then you're going to make a big deal about me collecting my stuff? No, give me my And I was pissed off by then. I just overwhelmed and just tired. I have no filter. And I was just like, give me shit. But that's not my point. My point is because I had to go around there. I didn't know where they live. I just know the area where they live. And I take myself early that Saturday morning. And I walked. Didn't know exactly where I was. So I went to someone and she directed me to the right place to go. And how I know where they live is he was outside and I saw him. Mind you, this is where, let's be distinct. I saw him first and he saw me. His face wasn't like, it was the biggest smile, like, oh, she's really here. Oh my goodness. And even while he's cleaning the stuff to give me my stuff, like he's trying to prepare the stuff that are mine to give it back to me. He's just like smiling. He didn't say anything much to me or whatever, but he's just like like in a good mood, not a bad mood, like, ugh, why are you here? You ruined my life type. No, he's like, right? However, that changed when after I was getting upset and the mother was going off saying I'm fighting her for her son and whatever. I didn't even say much to him but give me my stuff. I'm not looking at that and whatever. The most I said was when he's ready to take up what he would desire, obviously, and God says his responsibility, whatever he's decide when it comes to you, I'm agreeing with, not fighting it. That's most I said in regards to the topic. I just want my stuff. I want my stuff. So after a while, she's going off like, I was like, me not fight him. I was loud. I was like, bruh, you don't go mess with me because they were getting my stuff and I'm going to go. And I was waiting for the taxi. Me not fighting nobody. Me not fighting mother and father. Starting girlfriend. Whatever. I mentioned her by name by then. And then that's when I noticed the change. His face was pissed. And it's not like pissed, it's just like, and he could not look at my direction at all. Walking, dropping off stuff, he just not look down, avoid everything when it comes to my person. He and his mom helped me carry my stuff out because the taxi wouldn't come that far. And doesn't even, I said thanks to them for carrying it, don't even, just gone. Hey, wow, you're alive, you're right there. Ooh. But then it's like, the world's ended type of thing, right? So, by November 13th now, I decided, all right, let's try and talk this out. Because I was best friend with the mother. I didn't really try to be friends with him because I was like, I'm trying to move on, whatever. But like the mother at least, what the hell is going on? Why are you acting like this? You're moving, whatever. You know what? Let me try and resolve things. So November 13th is a Saturday, November 12th is a Friday. And so I went with my landlord as a mediator because she introduced me to her. So my landlord knew her first. So, and that's how I became friends with the landlord, is through her. So what's the issue? What's the big problem? So I went November 12th, but I went with him this time because I know they were going to think I'm going to go and have this big old cussed out nobody or whatever. No need. That's not who I am. I was pushed to the limit, but I'm not who I am. So November 12th, I went there, but I didn't even say anything to her. Let landlord talk first, and she went off about this and she never liked this and with the landlord. I never got a chance to talk to me, but she's like, all right, come back tomorrow and we'll talk. So we come back to the next day, but she wasn't there at the time. And mind you, if we're like, the whole purpose of this whole thing, mind you, they were this whole, it's future wife, whatever thing too. in a sense of movement, the way they were acting like I'm in law, or she getting visions and dream, whatever. Point is, it's not like it was me alone doing it, but she was doing it at another time when I was shinier. Yeah, I wasn't like look like whatless. Anyways, when I went there, I was like, all right, let's talk to him. She's not there. Let's just talk to him, because why am I wearing this ring? This specific ring. I always wear a ring, but this specific one and whatever. So I let him, the landlord, talk first. And the landlord was there for a good while talking. And then the landlord come to me and say, my girlfriend, and what, I disrespect him girlfriend, whatever. I'm like, cool. But you want to disrespect me? Like, you could be honest with me and still respect your girlfriend and respect me. But just, all right, fine. And they gotta go choose me to be the wife. What? And I was pissed. So I went. No, and that's when I went and asked him the 3 distinct questions. Do you want me? Do you want to get married to me? Would you be happy and fine if I was to get married to someone else and you wish me well? And his answer was no. Let's be clear how he answered it. Almost like something was holding him back from saying these words. But he said no, yes, to the respective questions. Then I was like, all right, cool. I'm validated my answers. God, see, he said no, he doesn't want me, don't want to get married to me. And he would be fighting back. So I was like, fine, guys, I hadn't changed my mind. Went back now because I'm pissed. Mind you, I came from church too. I was pissed because I'm like, I can't be going through all this. And God still, there's something. And you put me through all these months of the bully. You could have come straight to me. Bruh. So I went back. Barely wanted to answer the door. It's like I could sense that maybe he was crying or something. Then when he opened the door finally, because he wanted to talk behind him, I'm like, I'm not talking to no door. Open the door. Him open the door. See the water, right? So it's like, like, I could have maybe think and know, see, I did cry, but that's like in my head, but I didn't need to see proof. But that's not even the point. There's a crying at that time. My mom was like, who you know what he's crying about? I don't need to know. It was afterwards, now when his mom came home, I went to mom and apologized. And one of the things the landlord told me is that he didn't like how I disrespected his mom. Understand that? With the whole collecting my stuff. But mind you, I made it clear that wasn't the reason for me being upset with me collecting my stuff. It wasn't that I was like, give me things them. It's more, I'm trying. Even when I tried to collect my stuff, I was being patient. And you all want to cuss me out, hang up phone, and no one even want to send up. All right, fine, give me stuff. I'm tired of no. Type thing. I apologize. And I noticed, mind you, he's upset before. Changing mood again. Changing mood. Mr. Fowler no longer was all, because he was like that, and then he's stuck in his room or whatever. He came out, I think he's supposed to do something for his mom or whatever, and when he went to do something, I saw him like he's eyeing me. I noticed it while I'm trying to talk to his mom, when I glanced and I was like, I don't want to think about that. Why is he eyeing me? I'm a freaking girlfriend, why y'all look at me back? But as I said, when I'm around, he forgets he has a girlfriend. It's almost like God just put it on. That's what God designed. That that's your wife. You wanted it, as well as make sure you know and cannot forget about her. You can forget about everybody else, but you can't forget about your wife. Yeah, like there's even other moments where I think he noticed something and then he wanted to play on that. Let's even put on the fact that now I'm waiting on the landlord. They're gone somewhere. I'm gonna go back home now together, just because we came together. So I'm waiting on another. He went to do something and I'm sitting on there. I'm just so frustrated, trying to talk to the mom. The mom was being hard-headed in a sense, but at the same time there was more progress out of that conversation. But I'm still pissed off with him now, and he's now like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever my mom's saying. He's no longer pissed off because he's pissed off, and he see me though, and he's like, you all right? And I was like, me look alright to you? No, something like, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Like, because I'm pissed off. I'm just annoyed. And it's like it just switched on him again because he knows what it is. As the landlord said, when he's breaking down, you're hurting her, you're breaking her heart, you're literally, what you're doing is affecting her. And apparently, when he break down all of those stuff to Mr. Fowler, it broke him. He's like, he saw him breaking him and he had to go somewhere to do something. But he's like, he can see the tears coming, whatever, because he can sense that it's affecting her and he doesn't want to, or something like that. So when I'm like, yo, just, because I'm just hurt, I'm tired, and I'm just tired of being hurt and whatever, he went out, but his mom called him back now. He barely want to come back because I think by then now it's affecting him and he may have teary-eyed. And when no, he's coming back pissed off. No, nothing to me, no, nothing. And I could sense, mind you, spend enough time in 2020 to know when pissed off, happy, and yeah. And I'm not stupid. I've seen it even with so many guys. I can sense them, facial response based on whatever. Like John, let's talk about John now. John, the guy, newer-ish guy that I started to like, but I know I can't do anything about it, so I'm not trying to, and we're not friends or trying not to be friends. I can sense when things affect him, whether it's in his body language, he would normally do things and he just stop, and I could see like he just stop, like he wants, but he don't know what to do, and he just pause in the middle of wherever he is, whatever it is, and it's affecting it. The way he avoids my peripheral view or his. Try to make sure I'm not in his peripheral, or he can't even hear when I speak. So I know when I affect someone or someone affects me, and I can see that with him. It affects him. So that was November 13th, and then the next day, my parents came with a foolishness, then called them out of their bed, and the both of them came, and then mom and Mr. Fowler. And here's the thing, I don't fully blame them, but at the same time, like, seriously. Anyways, next on this list. All right, so December 4, right? Mind you, before I go to December 4, someone told me on February 4 if he told me to stop using his name, told me to whatever. He doesn't say anything, but let's be even clear. On December 4, that was the day I publicly changed everything to Mrs. Fowler, Queen Fowler, or Fowler, and I said, I'm publicly Mrs. Fowler, and I go on, I'm married, she needs to leave, come can't bother with him, and he's going to be stubborn, and he's going to prove that he's not a bad guy, and he's going to prove it. So that's why I was like, you know what? He's going to prove that he's not a bad guy or whatever, and that he doesn't want me, and he will rip the whole place down to prove it. But he's not going to tell the truth in the sense that he may actually desire to be with me or all that stuff, right? So I was like, she needs to just go. You're going to hurt yourself. Just go, right? Or else I'm going to have to go into screenshots and this and that, right? But let's rewind. I went on December 4th because God's like, you're married, act like it. And I'm like, if I'm in a marriage, any problem I'd rather deal with them head on, right? I'm not going to do silent treatment. I'm not going to whatever, head on. If there's a problem to be resolved, let's resolve it. If it takes some time, take some time. But if we need to talk, we need to talk. And my thing also is, why would I have a problem with in-laws or whatever? So I'm like, that's also something that needs to be resolved. He goes with his mom, needs to resolve. So I was like, all right, let me go around there. So I went around there and I sat and wait at the gate. Because as I said, the last time I was there by myself, plus all the things that happened and the cussing, she might think someone go around there and cuss about them, go with appearance and evil and wicked. No. I was like, I'm just gonna see. Plus I already I called her out about all the things that I heard out of my own ears she was saying about me. Like out of my own ears. And I showed the proof to her. And I went straight to her. So she may think, oh, I'm coming, whatever. No. So I sat at the gate, and I ended up sitting there for maybe 4 hours. I don't know how long. Until finally she gave me coconut water, and then rain started to hit, and then we eventually had our conversation. But let's focus on the points that needs to be focused on. One of the things she even mentioned is, so when me and my marriage, sometimes we block each other, whatever. I'm like, in my head, that's your marriage. That's what obviously you want in your marriage. That's not how I work. That's not even how me and my husband are block each other. Excuse me? And don't talk for months? That's not no marriage. That is pettiness and foolishness. No. But she's going off and like, you have to humble yourself. Okay, I get some things I've said before I should have said. And I get how I dealt with some things I shouldn't have dealt with it that way. But the blocking thing like it's normal? Hell no, that's not normal. Maybe it was for her marriage, but not one that I want nor have seen. Blocking each other? No. And I've seen in a marriage where certain things still shouldn't happen. So, but that's not even an option. Blocking each other? No. But here's another point that she made and then he made. If it's God, wait. He eventually said, but before we go there, we'll talk about that. That's what he's saying that the same day. She was like, if he's got his weight, I had to explain to her, no. Because she's like, I'm not going to tell you he's not God or whatever. Two, she was like, if he's got his weight, no. I'm like, God did not telling me to wait. If God was telling me to wait, I'd be like, yes! The only time God told me to wait was in 2020 when I was here. And he was here most of the time. I was like, God, some mornings, and he's there, like one Saturday where I was like praying, and he comes like, are you okay? Checking if I'm sick. And I'm like, I'm not sick, I'm just frustrated why you're here. But I didn't say that. I was like, because I'm trying to be kind, but at the same time, I'm frustrated. So that's the only time God told me to wait. After that, after I left him, God was like, do not reject him. And then after that, he's like, you're married. Like, in the most distinct way I cannot avoid. Like, bruh. And telling me to use the married name as my name. And then also putting it as a way of getting my promises, in the sense that I wouldn't have gotten a confirmation if I used another name from that boy. That boy don't play. That boy, if it's not him not playing the time, him don't wasting time, he's just straight to the point, or him don't even talk to you. And you have to just, bruh, wait. But here's the thing. He also said the same thing. So I'm like, is there something to wait for? He had no answer. He's like, right? But that's before we get there. I wanted to, because I'm like, I don't know what to tackle now. Because you're saying you don't want to be me. You're going to lie and act like, yo, Mr. Me no want be. He did say that when I was here in 2020. I didn't deny that. It's now the things you do and keep doing. And so what I keep throwing at him now is, in 2020, how I remember walking in this room and he literally like threw himself on me. He just feel like, he just like, oh. And I was like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to say it. Why is he doing this? I don't want to overreact, but at the same time, like, because I'm like, as much as I may be 26, I don't have a lot of experience with people, but at the same time, is he like this with all female friends? But at the same time, I know he's not like this at the same time. But he's not telling me his intention in the sense that, or telling his mindset, oh, I am really in love with you, or I really like you, but I can't because I'm committed. So it messes me, because he's not telling me this truth. Like, I'm in a committed relationship, it's just, I got caught up and I slipped up and I did that. But no, he's threw himself on me, like. And so I was trying to give an example. He's taller than me, so I can't really do the same thing. So what I did on December 4th was hang on him like this. And he did, based on his reaction at the end of the conversation, he could have reacted. Or said, yo, take off your hand. Or say, yo, this whole murder, stop the foolishness. Nah, got me. Never said it. Never implied it. Never even went there. Oh no, it's positive. Oh no, to this point, the both of them could say, stop using the fuller name. We don't want you. We don't want to deal with you. Make it clear. The most the mother did was on that day would say, stop using my name or whatever. And I try not to use her name until times I have to, right? But he has not even said that. So anyways, I was hanging on him like this to say, do you remember when you did this during yourself? He's like, you make it sound so. He's just going around it, but not going to the point. Not even shutting it down. Like, the only way he shut it down is like, That never happened. That never happened. But he's not shutting even down. But I'm hanging on him. I'm not hanging on him. Try to flirt with him. I don't even go around there in certain ways, certain things. I was hanging on him. He could have like, stop touch me. Stop. Leave me alone. Like, yo, just leave me alone. Like, bruh, shut it down. That's all. Done. That's all. He's told me of other girls that was obsessed with him or something like that. And he found ways to make sure that person don't have access to him. I think he has done a lot of things that maybe the girlfriend has asked him to do, or he can use as proof similar, but he's not going the end to the point where I'm cutting all ties, no access, I'm done. I will get there, right? There's no, me no want her at all, completely don't want her. She just whatever. You will say that, but he doesn't put in the effort or the resources. So, and I don't look at that. Because I don't want, that's not even bare minimum. That is just relaxed, what's that? It's like, I'll explain soon. When I talk about when I last see him, the very last time I saw him, and that was between, there's a gap I did not see him for a good while. It's December 4th, which I was talking about, to February 4th. But anyways, so I was hanging on him, didn't say anything. The most he did was after he done what he was doing, because he was doing something, and I was talking to him one time, I just said, you remember this? No. And he refused, like, he's like, I'm gonna do whatever I'm doing, but I'm not gonna look at you or face you or whatever, right? But he did not like, why you touch me if I let me or whatever. Just stay there like this and like, right? Anyways, so I was like, all right, that's useless. And I'm not trying to hang on you for whatever. You're just trying to get the information to ask you and know for a fact that X, Y, Z and stop lying and whatever. So I reached a point where now I'm like, yo, you remember when you did this, touching nose, and it was bothering me, and I told you to stop, you're still going, and like I was like brushing your honey, whatever. So I was like, oh, you don't remember? And I would keep going gently, not try to be aggressive or whatever. And then he pushed me aggressively twice. Mind you, you could have done that. With the whole hanging on him. And he's like, no, mom, well, go off. Like, what about, she did touch me. So I'm go off, and then I had to leave. Mind you, the last thing even his mom said to me was just simply, if you need anything or want to talk about it, we can talk, but don't come by my house again. I'm fine with that. I don't go around their house like that. And I was only there because God asked me to. Never even crossed my mind to do it. Except for another time when I was frustrated, but that's it. And then if you go on him house, for what? Let me add. Anyway, so this between December 4th and February 4th, let's put that gap for a second. So God is like, you're still married, you claim it and whatever. And I'm like, okay. But there's times where God's like, okay, prepare, it's about to happen. Oh, so you know what's going to happen. All right, you need to prepare for that. And so when I get overwhelmed, I'd write, yes, the same poems, so on, that is explicit. Eventually, because I try to remove him from accessing them, because I'm like, nah, you can't go on like whatever. But then eventually I was like, you know what? Let me give him access back again, because I'm moving in faith. He's my husband according to God. So this is not wrong. This is just, preparing for what's going to happen, right? To the last I checked, which is last I physically checked, and that was last week. But I'm pretty sure up to very now, because I've not mentioned it, I haven't talked about it, he has not removed himself from seeing them. If he wants to, he can literally remove himself. From the time I've shared him the first time in October, did not remove himself. I removed him because I got frustrated. And if anything, I don't think he mentioned about it. But I removed him, right? Till I last know, or maybe up till now, or maybe up to this video, and he's going to do it just to prove himself. And as I said, God's going to ask me to do a lot of things, and I'm going to have to move in faith. If she wants to stay, she can stay, but it's not going to go anywhere. He has not removed himself, and I'm pretty sure. I didn't check. I don't want to check. I don't want to break my heart or be frustrated or anything. That he reads them. Every last one of them. Stuff he already read, and he still reads. I think he reads it when he feels he wants to. Not maybe every day or whatever, but he reads them. Some of them are not the best. Some of them are like, I hate this marriage. Yeah. But then some are like explicit. Right? But he reads them. If he doesn't want to, he can remove himself. If he did not know how to, he could Google how to remove yourself. You want nothing to do with me. But here's the thing. February 4, as I said, I explain his mindset when, whether it's I mention his girl or the frustration of the whole thing or whatever, he has a mindset or whatever, facial expression that shows his mind. Like he can't avoid. He can act and remove it because I've seen him remove it. Like I said, like, don't react. And he can go blank and you can't read it. Can't read what he's feeling on his face. But most of the time, it's quite obvious all over his face. If his mom could sense before he meet me that is me, and the whole when I hear about the girl and whatever that him like, it's quite obvious where his mind is, where his heart lies or whatever. But it's not, and that's when it's right there in face. February 4, I last saw him. It's not like we go to away for him. I'm where I'm normally is, but he's or his mom normally go there too. They don't need to go there or go there often, but I've noticed they've been there often recently. Not even going to go there about why. But I've seen him come once, and that's February 4. I was like surprised, but I was focused on my thing, and I try not to let it bother me. But one of the things, it did bother me though. He's coming into the place grinning. Here's the thing, he could have come and said, yo, stop the foolishness, we are post up on whatever. Still, till this day, has not told me to do that. Anyways, he was grinning and it irritated me because I'm like, it just seemed like you're grinning because you're like, oh, someone's obsessed with me. I kind of like her, but yeah, and CRD. And he's grinning, but he didn't go to me. He went to someone else to deal with whatever. I didn't even ask her what he come to do. I don't want to know. Just God will solve it. God will do it. But as the last time, as I said, his reaction wasn't like, I'm gonna avoid looking at her. I don't even, like this. He doesn't do that, but you can know he's like, no, it's smiling in black and walking towards. And I was focused on a task. But yeah, I share this to say I don't even want to think about these things, but it's like don't forget, but don't post about it yet. And then I guess now is the time, because I was like, I woke up and I was like, all right, time for them to stop protecting them, stop covering and hiding these little things. Like they're saying to wait, like there's something to wait for, means that they're stringing other people along saying they don't want me, but when it comes to me in my face, they're not saying that like that. They never make it clear like, and when I make it clear that I do not like them, their facial response is like, well, you don't like me? But they can go around and say a lot of things. When they come to me, it's a different story. That's the funny thing. This is where I guess God is the one that's doing everything, because he's like, I'm not going to make the lies conquer. I'm going to show you the truth, and you're going to see it. You're going to have to hold on to it for some time and watch everybody else fall for their lies and whatever. But you're going to have to trust me. And you're going to have to trust me before you could see it, because I couldn't see it when I was in my car. They went off with whatever they want to do or pretend to say whatever they want to say or whatever. But and it comes to my face, they can say I'm obsessed or whatever, but when they know the facts, if it was and they know the fact that if it was up to me, then God like that. Because I already made it clear to her I wanted to end the friendship because I want to move on. I made it clear to them both that I wanted to move on, even though God was like, just trust me. So right now I'm just like, oh God, the consequence of moving away from your path and goal is too hard of a price for me, so I'm gonna trust you. So now I'm just leaning in on that looking stupid. And they allowed me to look stupid. And I've been looking stupid. Now it's time for me to lay out the facts. Believe me or not. But you can literally test it. And if he can't even look, if you bring in the same room and he with me and we have to sit down and talk, if he can't look for me in my face straight and talk straight, and even if he can't gather the strength to do that, how long will that last? One day? Cool. Will it last into another? I don't see it right in this very room. 2020. I see it recently. He's just like, when he doesn't need to think about, oh yeah, he has a girlfriend. Grin, smile. I've seen, and it's not like I'm just looking at what he does. I've seen it on other people's face, like guys who just like days to buy me. It's the same face he makes. And I'm not pretending like, oh God, just love and fall for me. No. Not every guy likes me. I'm not gonna pretend that. But when I see the days, like, oh. And I'm not talking like, oh, gosh, she upped. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, that's his face when he forgets. So, if you wanna continue, I'm not fighting, I'm not whining. I'm so annoyed, I'm so tired. And as I said, I wanna just punch him in the face. Like, when I saw him, let's be clear, when I saw him on February 4th, I talk about their reaction. I'm going to talk about the truth. Because I haven't, and whenever I go to them, I guess I'm mustering up the strength and I already know what emotion I have. I don't have like a reaction. But when I saw them on February 4th, my heart was like pumping hard. But that wasn't even, it's just the fact that my hands were shaking. I was doing something, I was like, bruh, what? And I think, not like, oh my goodness, I'm falling for. I've not been in that mindset for a long time. I think it's just a matter of the amount of emotions just piling on one time, which is anger, frustration, annoyed, and it's just all there, and the fact that it just came out of nowhere, and I was just like, stop reacting, and then I can't not react, and my hand was shaking. So I'm gonna be real, but yeah, that's my reality in life. But if you want to stay, deal with that. Go ahead. I have to.